In life, we all encounter obstacles, and those obstacles come in all different shapes, sizes, and forms. The question is, how do we handle those obstacles? Do we attack them head on, or do we allow them to make us quit? Welcome to the No Quit Living podcast, where we aim to motivate and inspire listeners to never give up on themselves, their dreams, or their goals. We will interview successful people from all walks of life as they share their no-quit stories when they had the choice to give up or give in, but they didn't. We thank you for listening, and we hope to be that jolt of positivity as you go for your greatness. Welcome to episode number 236 of the No Quit Living podcast. I'm your host, Christopher J. Worth, and today's theme of the day is meditation. Our quote of the day comes to us from Dr. P. Golden. The goal of meditation is not to get rid of thoughts or emotions. The goal is to become more aware of your thoughts and emotions and learn how to move through them without getting stuck. Today's episode is sponsored by the good people over at West Fair Communications, who publish the Westchester County Business Journal and the Fairfield County Business Journal. These newspapers do a wonderful job in covering all aspects of the business world within two of the most influential markets in the New York metropolitan area. You can also take advantage of their daily news feeds, which keep track on the companies and thought leaders in these important regions. For more information, take a look at www.westfaironline.com. Trust me, once you start reading, you won't quit. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to say a very quick and sincere thank you to you, our listeners. Now, I'm fully aware of the abundance of other podcasts and content that is out there today, so I truly appreciate you listening to our show. If you have not yet subscribed to our show or left us a review on iTunes, we ask that you please do so, as it helps us both spread our show as well as our mission. Thank you. Depending on who you follow in social media, there has been a recent plethora of content regarding meditation and its importance. Now, one of the questions I ask every single guest is if they either have a morning ritual or routine that they swear by. So many of our guests have shared some really interesting information regarding their routines. And I know that has personally made me think a lot about my daily routine and how I start my own day. Although many of the routines described are very detailed and specific, others, on the other hand, are more laid back and relaxed. But one thing that continues to come up is the importance of meditation. Now, I have to admit, before we launched our show back in April of 2017, I fully knew what meditation was and had heard of it for many, many years. But I can honestly say that up to that point, I'd never meditated once in my entire life. But as an avid learner, and after hearing and listening to so many of our guests credit meditation to helping them in so many different ways, I decided that I needed to give it a try. Most people that know me know that when I decide to do something, typically I immediately take action and jump all in 100%. So that's what I did. I purchased the Headspace app on my phone and I began. I wasn't sure what really to do or expect, so I just began. Fast forward a few weeks, and when it came to my meditation process, I was all over the place. Some weeks I'd meditated for 5 or 6 days in a row, while other times I almost missed an entire week. There were days when I meditated for 10 minutes straight, while other days I could barely get through 2 minutes. During that time, as our podcast episodes were still being released every Tuesday and Thursday, so many of our guests continue to touch upon the importance of meditation and how it is such a useful tool in both their personal and professional lives. One thing that I realized, and it's very similar to our daily accountability two-pager, is that meditation is not about perfection. Instead, it's all about consistency. So I decided to give meditation another try. But this time I downloaded a different app, the Insight Timer app. I also told myself I wanted to better ease into meditation and figure out what works best for me. I can honestly say now that after 4 months of consistently meditating, I'm making it work for me on my terms. Now, what I mean by that, very simple, is that life is difficult, and both situations and circumstances change almost daily. I have meditated in my bed, on the floor, in my car, in the sauna at my gym, at my office, and in hotel rooms. I've also meditated for 5 minutes, up to 25 minutes straight. I've meditated the first thing in the morning when I wake up, in the afternoon, as well as at night, right before bed. If you couldn't tell, my meditation process is still a work in progress. What I do know, though, is that meditation does work. What I also believe is that meditation can and should be different for everyone. Meditation grounds me. It both calms me and puts me in the right frame of mind to attack whatever I have in front of me. If you have not yet meditated and are interested in starting, my recommendation would be to start small and build from there. I'm far from an expert myself when it comes to meditation, but I myself have definitely tried, tinkered, and tweaked my process so I could figure out what works best for me. My one piece of advice for meditation is very simple. Be consistent. Start with an open mind and be willing to change your process along the way. It won't happen overnight, but you also shouldn't look at it or treat it as a chore. Instead, welcome meditation into your life and look to both find and see what works best for you personally. There are plenty of apps out there, both free and paid, and many of our guests have recommended what they use. If you're not an app person, I know there's a ton of information and free content on YouTube. So as you go for your greatness today, I challenge you to look at meditation as a useful skill and tool. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about consistency. I would like to end today's episode with a quote from Zach Frazier. The key to success is consistency. And lastly, to our listeners, thank you. We truly appreciate your time, and we hope our episodes inspire you to keep on attacking life and never giving up. To quote Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, it's always too early to quit.